And so the first thing we're going to talk about is the line level purchase order matching. So the AP automation and purchasing automation is something that's been in the works for a while with Sage, and they've been rolling it out over time. And I think we're really kind of to the last stage of that AP and purchasing automation, and they've introduced the line level matching against purchase orders, which is, I think, really the main element that was missing. And so I think that this really brings us to a complete solution. And so I'm going to talk through that and show you an example. So I do want to mention that there is some configuration that's required. So of course you do have to have the AP automation subscription. I guess I might have misspoke when I said these are good. I'm going to focus first on the features that are available to everyone, because you do have to have the AP automation subscription. Accounts payable obviously is something that's part of your core, but you do have to have the AP automation subscription in order to access this. And if you're interested in that, please reach out to Brandy on the customer success team. But there is, if you have that, and there is some configuration that's required before you can actually use the new line level matching and exceptions reporting. And that would be under the configure purchasing screen. There's a little checkbox right here under the automation settings section of configure purchasing. There's a little checkbox right here that you have to turn on that says override header level matching with line level matching. And once you do that, you'll be able to have the system pull in the and compare the purchase order items to the line items on the AP bill. So I'm going to actually get out of the PowerPoint right now, and I'm going to switch over to Intacct. So I'm going to, in accounts payable, I'm going to go to automated transactions. So if you don't have that AP automation subscription on, or you don't have permissions turned on for it, then you might not have this menu item. But as long as you do, you should see this. And if I go into the automated transactions, I can see all transactions that were brought into the system through the AP automation that's native to Intacct. And if I click all, I can see that there aren't any in here right now. And I'll even click include private, so we can really see there's none in here right now. And I'm just going to drag and drop. Of course, we can use email. You can send invoices via email. But I'm going to use drag and drop. And so I'm going to just pull in the entity I want to load this up to. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to grab this AP invoice right back here. And I'm just going to drag it and drop it. So of course, right now we can upload AP invoices with line details as long as they're not related to purchase orders. And we can upload invoices through the automation that are related to purchase orders. But the system really at this time just pulls in the purchase order line details. So it uses the header level information from the invoice to grab the vendor, the purchase order number, match it to the purchase order number, grab the invoice date, the invoice number. But once it finds that purchase order and matches it to it, it then pulls the line details from the purchase order. And it's up to you as the user to compare the actual invoice line items to the purchase order line items and to make sure they invoiced you according to the purchase order. But now Sage Intacct has automated that too. So I just, if I click the refresh, it takes it a minute to read through that AI engine. So, and so it might take me a minute here, and I'm doing this live. So if anybody has any questions about the AP automation, then they can drop them in the chat, and this is a good chance to answer that. It actually went pretty quickly. So that went pretty quickly. So there it's pulled in this invoice right here for $3,750. Now, anything that comes in through the AP automation, it always pulls it in as a draft status. So nothing that happens to the AP automation is ever going to negatively impact, or is never going to, there's not going to be, AI bots out there posting things to your GL or to your AP. Everything comes into draft, and then it's up to someone to either post it or submit it to the approval process if you have one. So I'm going to open up this transaction right now. It was purchase order related. And so here is the image that I pulled in. And I did intentionally create a variance here. So I intentionally created an invoice where I have five PCs that I ordered for $750. But my purchase order was only for 5 PCs for, I think, $700 a piece. So it pulled in the amount under the old, before the release on Friday, when I did this, it would have automatically just pulled in the purchase order line items, which would have been for the lesser amount. But this now, it actually reads the line items from the invoice, and then it matches them up to the purchase order. And it's telling me right here that there's an exception. And if I hover over that exception, it's going to show me that there's a exception, a price exception. So it'll tell me about quantity exceptions or price exceptions. And if I scroll over a little bit more, I can click on this exception summary and I can see what's not in alignment with my purchase order. So if I click on this exception summary, it's going to pop open this little window. It's going to tell me for this line item that I ordered 5 at $700, but I was invoiced for 5 at $750. So there's a price variance of $50 per item for a total price variance of 7.14%. So from there, I can decide what I want to do with that. If I want to post it, I can. Now, what happens if I post this when it's over the PO amount is really going to be determined by my transaction definition. So of course, we all know that Sage Intacct has very customizable workflows. So if you have your set not to allow that, it's going to throw an error. If you have it set not to allow, or if you have a match tolerance set up and this is over the match tolerance. But if you have it set to allow you to be over the purchase order, then you can go ahead and post it. So then I go ahead and post that. And that's going to actually create that AP invoice at the $750, which is over the amount of the purchase order. So that's, like I said, that really kind of completes the picture, I think, from the AP automation perspective, because now it will read the line details of the invoice, compare them to the line details of the purchase order, flag wherever there's a variance, and then it'll post or not post based on the settings that you have configured on your transaction definition for that purchasing workflow.